In this lesson, we'll be reviewing the invertebrate phyla. An invertebrate is an animal without a backbone. All of the animals we have discussed in Zoology 1 through 3 are invertebrates. They do not have a backbone. In the next few slides, we will be reviewing those animal phyla. It does go quickly, so pause the video if you need to in order to fill out the note guide. Also be aware of how characteristics and these animals evolve as we progress through the animal phyla, as they get progressively more complex with more complex features. Our first animal phyla was phylum Porifera. The common name is sponges. Their body cavity is acoelomate, meaning they do not have a body cavity. That means that there is no real cavity inside of their bodies where organs rest and reside. Their body symmetry, they do not have any, and they have no tissues, organs, or organ systems. And what you should know about phylum Porifera is that they are primitive. They are animals because they feed, respirate, move, reproduce, etc., but they are very primitive. Our next animal phyla was phylum Cnidaria. The common name for these is jellyfish. It also includes sea anemones, hydra, and corals. Their body cavity is acoelomate as well, meaning they do not have a body cavity. Their body symmetry is radial. This means there are multiple planes in their body where you could cut through the body in half and they would be similar on both sides. It's like a tire. You could cut a tire in multiple spots and it would be the same on either half. They do have tissue level organization, so that's a step up from phylum Porifera. And what you should know is that they develop nerves and muscles. They develop these tissues that will now get progressively more complex in the next phyla we discuss. The next phylum is phylum Platyhelminthes. The common name is flatworms. Their body cavity is also acoelomate, meaning they don't have a body cavity. They do have organs, but there's no cavity inside of their body where they sit and where they're placed. The organs are mushed up inside of their body with all of the other organs. Their body symmetry is bilateral, meaning there's only one spot where you could cut the body in half and it would be similar on both sides. They do have organs and organ systems. And what you should know is that they do have neural ganglion, so they have a concentration of nerves in the head region, and they do have a gastrovascular system. There's only one opening, so the mouth acts as both a mouth and an anus, but they do have organ systems. The next phylum is phylum Nematoda. The common name is roundworms. Their body cavity is pseudocoelomate, meaning they do have a cavity inside of their body where the organs do reside. But those organs are not lined with mesoderm, and that's a big difference between having a false coelom, like nematodes, and a true coelom, like the other animals we'll discuss. Their body symmetry is bilateral. They do have organ systems, and what you should know is they developed a complete digestive system. So there is a mouth and an anus. Food moves from the mouth through the rest of the digestive system and out the anus. Our next phyla is phylum Annelida. The common name for these animals are segmented worms, like earthworms. They have a true coelom, which means they have a cavity, a hole, inside of their body where their organs reside. Their body symmetry is bilateral. They have organ systems, and what you should know is they developed the closed circulatory system, meaning they have a heart with blood vessels and blood enclosed inside of those vessels. The next phylum is phylum Mollusca. Common name is mollusks. In this picture we have an octopus, which is an example of a mollusk. They have a body cavity, so they do have a coelom. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They have organ systems. And what you should know is there is high intelligence in cephalopods. So this octopus is a cephalopod, and they have high intelligence. They have a brain, a very complex brain that allows them to do complex things. The next phylum is phylum Arthropoda. These are arthropods or insects. They have a body cavity. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They have organ systems, and what you should know is that they developed appendages off of their bodies. Our last phyla is phylum Echinodermata. Their common name is sea star, but it also includes brittle stars and sea urchins and sea lilies. They have a body cavity. They are radially symmetrical. They have organ systems. And what you need to do is they are simpler animals, and they involved radial symmetry again. So they came from a bilateral ancestor, but they evolved the radial symmetry again in the adults. So that's all of our invertebrate phyla.